Hi, welcome to Therapy for Nerds, psychoeducation through nerdy topics. I'm Cassidy, a licensed marriage and family therapist. If you like this combination of nerdy topics and psychology, please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Alright, with that out of the way, I'm going to tell you about today's topics. Today, I'm going to talk about Steven Universe and emotional intelligence. As a therapist, I could have a field day with the psychological topics related to the show. Steven Universe has so many aspects that I just absolutely adore. So many mental health aspects. The representation is amazing, it's body positive, there's themes of self-love and self-acceptance, it has a way to talk about a variety of relationships. It has a whole episode that includes one of my favorite songs about mindfulness, which mindfulness has been clinically proven to help lower anxiety and depression. Seriously, even if you haven't seen the show, I highly recommend giving the song Here Comes a Thought a listen. The song itself is wonderful and has no real spoilers as long as you're just listening to it and not watching the video clip. Then it has kind of spoilers. With the movie less than 2 weeks away from airing, I figured today was a great time to talk about it. So, I mentioned I was going to link Steven Universe to emotional intelligence. For those who haven't heard the term emotional intelligence before, I'll go ahead and explain it. In my field, we have started researching other forms of intelligence. There is the traditional IQ, that measures a person's problem-solving abilities, and then there's EQ, or emotional intelligence. EQ is essentially a person's ability to recognize and regulate their own emotions and the emotions of others. Granted, this is a very basic understanding of the concept. What I love about Steven Universe is it's not afraid to have a male character, the protagonist of the show no less, have feelings, and feelings especially that aren't just anger. Anger tends to be a safe emotion for males to show because it's considered a strong emotion. Males are often praised for being strong when they either don't show their emotions at all, or when they mostly show their hurt feelings through anger. There's this anger iceberg thing that we have in the therapy world, and it's anger's just the tip of the iceberg, and then all of your emotions are down here under the ice, under the water level, which is true for some cases, but I think that's also because we've really created a culture where those other emotions aren't safe. Anger is safe to show. So the anger iceberg can be very beneficial for people to really understand what's at the root of their anger. But today we're not talking about anger because little Steven's a little cinnamon roll who barely gets angry at all. If anything, he's open to showing those under the water level emotions, that sadness. Steven's not afraid to cry, as seen through multiple times through the show. It's even a running gag of sorts. His powers are focused mainly on defense and healing, traits that are typically considered more feminine. I mean, he can literally heal people by kissing them. It's like your mom kissing a little boo-boo. But I can hear you guys asking what this has to do with emotional intelligence. And this is where I will tell you. Through the course of the show, Steven is learning how to take command of the Crystal Gems, a group of rebels that was first led by his mother, Rose Quartz, to protect the Earth from the Gem Homeworld and the Diamond Authority. At first, Steven seems too young and too naive to be a true leader. He is emotional, he can be careless, but what starts to shine through is his desire to help his friends and family, and even sometimes his enemies, be happy. At the beginning of the show, he sees monsters that the gems fight, as just that, monsters. But as the show progresses, he learns that the monsters were once gems, just like his 3 adoptive mothers, and his once biological mother. For many characters, this would create a cognitive dissonance. And in most cases, the show would frame this as something that still has to be done, and the characters would feel really bad about it for a second, but then they'd go on killing them and pretty much be on their merry way. But not Steven. Not Steven Universe. Steven makes it his mission to help these gems. He goes as far as befriending one when she is still in monster form. He is heartbroken when a communication happens and she is forced to be bubbled. When he learns that his healing spit can work on gems, he tries to heal her once more. It works for a brief time, but he learns that he will need the help of the diamonds, the most powerful gems, to help save her and the other corrupted gems for good. This is a constant theme of the show. Steven utilizes his ability to relate to his enemies on an emotional level to, for the most part, bring them to his side. Laprus is the first major example of this. He actually listens to her. He breaks her free from her prison after she is so distraught and hurt that she lashes out at the crystal gems. Then she takes all the water out of the ocean to try to build herself a pathway to get back home. Everyone else in the show views her as a villain to take down, and they don't do a very good job at it. She kicks their butt. But then Steven does the unthinkable. He talks to her. He validates her desire to go back home and her experiences in the mirror. After a heart-to-heart, he's able to understand what she needs from him. He heals her. She's able to leave for the moment. Even in a later episode when his dad starts singing about her in a negative light, Steven stops him. He changes the lyrics to reflect that Laprus was just a confused and hurt prisoner. Peridot is another strong example of Steven changing an enemy into a friend. Peridot gets left behind after a failed mission. She wants to prove herself to her homeworld, so she does everything she can to attempt to bring honor to herself. However, she is just a cog in the machine. Her leader, Yellow Diamond, doesn't care about her, only what she can do to further the gem cause. And this is shown by Yellow Diamond forgetting which Peridot is. I mean, I understand having a bunch of gems that are the same type and they all have the same name. I can understand how that would be confusing, but it really hurts Peridot. This is in striking contrast to Steven, who just simply calls her Peridot. He values her opinion and talks to her on a personal level. In the end, Peridot decides to stay on Earth because that's where she feels that she can be herself. We see Steven recognize the emotions in the people around him, like his father Greg and Pearl, both of whom loved his mother. But because of that, they resent each other. This resentment has been going on for longer than Steven has been alive. In the episode Mr. Greg, Steven brings them together with a song, Both of You, which is beautiful. He encourages both of them to talk to each other. Greg feels guilty for the death of Rose because he realizes that if he hadn't gotten her pregnant with Steven, she would still be alive. He thinks that this is why Pearl resents him. But Pearl finally admits that she doesn't hate Craig. She hates the fact that Rose chose Greg over her. They are both suffering over the loss of Rose, but both really love Steven. Steven is able to help them see those common threads, and it helps bring them closer together and feel a sense of closure in their relationships. Steven proves over and over that he is a great leader because of his emotional intelligence, because of these emotions that he has. Being able to understand the emotions of others, relate to them, validate them, and effectively communicate is what saves the day more than anything else. That's all for this week. Next week, I will be recording in my new office. I'm excited for the move. I will miss this brick background. But I heard I'm getting a window, so bye. Fingers crossed that's true. I think I'll try to do an office video tour when we finally get the majority of stuff moved in and once things have settled down a little bit. Anyways, how emotionally intelligent do you think you are? Can you think of any other characters in media that have a high emotional intelligence? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you liked this video providing psychoeducation through nerdy topics and want to see more like it, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, all that other YouTubery stuff. Bye.